Proverbs 18:1, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. As we talked about, this verse is a really powerful opener. It's basically reminding us that when we cut ourselves off and only chase our own wants, we might end up ignoring good advice or wisdom. So it's a call to stay connected and open to others. And we'll just keep going verse by verse from here. Let's move on whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we definitely can here in a minute. Based on kind of the social situation, I feel like we have a culture that isolates themselves and decides to have these interactions through synthetic sources like social media and, even texting or video chatting, which, almost disconnects us emotionally wise just because we don't have to physically feel somebody's body language tonality right in front of us. And so it doesn't create that sense of empathy or sympathy for that person. We can kind of be a little bit more callous towards it. And that in itself is an isolation factor. I feel like it's an intentional process to keep people separate because honestly, when people are together, it can be a pretty substantial thing. And I'm noticing in our culture that we have a lot of disconnected people that want to be heard but don't want to listen.
Yeah, you've really hit on something insightful there. It's true that a lot of our modern communication tools, as convenient as they are, can sometimes create that emotional distance. Without those in-person cues like body language or tone, it can be easier to just focus on broadcasting our own thoughts rather than truly listening. And like you said, that can lead to a kind of isolation, even when we're technically connected online. It's almost a paradox, right? We're more connected than ever, but sometimes we're less emotionally connected or less willing to step out of our own viewpoint. So you're definitely not alone in noticing that. And it's a really thoughtful reflection on how that first verse ties into what we're seeing in our culture. It's a reminder that being truly connected is about more than just talking. It's about listening and building real empathy. And it's great that you're bringing that awareness into the conversation.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important for the young people today to understand that these synthetic interactions don't give experience, they give knowledge without wisdom, I feel like. And I feel when you have a lot of knowledge without wisdom, it creates a paradox in your own brain.